There are certain things that Laura and I do that are very fun. This is not one of them.
What are your initial Iceland thoughts?
It's cold.
Yeah. We are walking because
There's no Ubers.
there are no Ubers or Lyfts in Iceland, and the taxis are like crazy expensive, and so are the rental cars, and we're not going to rent a car just to go pick up our camper van, which we're going to treat as our rental car. So we thought we'd get some brisk Iceland air in our lungs after sleeping maybe 45 minutes.
That's
total.
generous. Everyone thinks that the international airport's in Reykjavik. It's actually in Keflavik, which is about 40 kilometers from Reykjavik. Anyway, this bike path is super nice, so if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a taxi, you can just walk it. We think it's about 3 kilometers. We need some exercise. We sit on a plane for too long. 2,000 meters below the Earth's surface, ocean water and freshwater converge in a tectonic realm of searing heat and extreme pressure, creating geothermal seawater. Drawn to the surface through geothermal extraction wells, the water emerges enriched in silica, algae, and minerals.
We are right next to the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon has 2 different hotels associated with it. The one that we're staying at is the Silica Hotel. And then at the Blue Lagoon, there is actually a resort, which I believe you have access to the spa over there and some other amenities. But we are staying about 800 meters from the Blue Lagoon. And we actually have really been enjoying it. You have access to a private pool, and it is much less busy than the Blue Lagoon. We actually just walked over to the Blue Lagoon this morning, and while it is beautiful, there are lots of people. And here, there are not as many people. So we've been really enjoying that aspect of staying here.
You have to be honest and say that Lauren looks terrified.
Why so serious?
If you see Lauren at the Blue Lagoon, just run to the shore as fast as you can.
All you do is you slide on your robe and your flip-flops, which they provide you with. You rinse off, because you have to rinse off before you go into the lagoon, and then you just walk right in. And yesterday we went, and there was no one there. It was just us, and it's a decent-sized pool, and you hang out for as long as you want. There's a bar really close by, so you can go and grab drinks and then get in the pool with a drink, and you just hang out. Sam and I were just talking last night. I think every once in a while it's nice to do these experiences, because while we do very much enjoy living full-time in our trailer, sometimes it's kind of nice to sleep in a big bed and they're cleaning outside. Guys, this hotel has heated floors, and it's got a towel rack that's heated, so it heats your towels too. I could just go lay on the bathroom floor and just stay there for 3 hours and not be mad about it. This place is spotless. I would lick this floor.
Prove it.
Odds.
1 in 35.
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1, 32.
Okay, I'll do it. I'm ready. Give me some Icelandic water to wash it down. Ow, my stomach don't want to rock. Later today, we are headed to Reykjavik. We are going to do a really cool food tour, and this food tour has had over 6,000 5-star reviews.
Nice wide corner. All right, you're gonna stay on this, and then in 1.1 kilometers, you're gonna be taking a right. High five. That was awesome. She just backed it in like a champ.
Okay, we are in Reykjavik, just walking around, checking out the town, and I got some very cute Icelandic wool slippers, and we got some other souvenirs for family and friends, and definitely a busy town, lots of people. The cathedral right behind me, very pretty. Yeah, and we're going to do a food tour in about an hour or so, which I'm very excited about. It's 3.5 hours food tour, people.
This is the largest city of Iceland. It's also the capital of Iceland. This food tour has never received anything less than a 5-star review on TripAdvisor or Yelp, or I have no idea what they use, but we're very excited for it. About to be the tour guide and get going here.
A lot of times I get people going on tour and they say maybe, Stevie, I don't really like eating lamb. Bacon always tastes kind of bland. Not in Iceland. Now in the middle of the country, in the highlands, where nobody lives, over the summertime, that's where the sheep live. Don't live in any cages of any sorts. So they are eating the wild mountain herbs, wild berries, Icelandic moss, gives them this amazing, unique Icelandic flavor. And we've been doing this since the year 874. Been here for a long time. And the Danish king used to personally own this building and used it to train his falcons.
Bill Clinton, Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian.
What about them?
Me, Stevie. They all ate here.
Did they?
Yeah.
So instead we have the 13 Yule lads. And they are trolls who come down from the mountain every Christmas. As a kid in Iceland, you put your shoe in the windowsill. If you're nice, they give you a treat, like a tangerine or a cookie. But if you're naughty, they give you a raw potato. Everything turns into a bar at night. I'm not kidding, we have a library / bar just a couple of minutes up here.
We said it was best to sip it.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty good to shoot it. And this is the first traffic jam we've had in Iceland. It looks like there is a tractor and 3 cars behind it, so rush hour.
This would be the right side of our rear bumper that came off. It was hanging on by this with tape. And let it be known that this was already hanging off when Sam and I picked it up.
But it got dramatically worse as we drove down the
It got much worse as we drove down the road, and now we are have a souvenir. So we'll see. We may be taking our camper van back tomorrow.
Now, in addition to our bumper, we also had some van tires that were extremely bald. So we made the decision to go back to Keflavik and to resolve the issue before we set out on our 500-mile trek. All right, so we got the van figured out. They replaced all 4 tires for us. Our boy Ollie hooked us up. Super nice man who works at Indy Campervans, and replaced tires 45 minutes to set us back about 2 hours for today. We are headed down to Vik. We're gonna check out some waterfalls first, but good to have some new tires, and they told us they weren't gonna charge us to the bumper. So all is well that ends well.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way.
There are a ton of waterfalls between Reykjavik and Vik, and currently we are on the river Skoa. This is definitely one of the more popular waterfalls in Iceland. The parking lot is pretty dang busy with lots of people, and the first part is pretty steep because you can hike up to the waterfall. But at the top, there's this amazing trail that leads to hundreds of waterfalls, which we are currently on. Legend actually says that Vikings buried a chest of gold here behind the waterfall, but we haven't seen it yet. But I don't know, I think we found our pot of gold with this hike.
That with you, I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about.
Tell us about the history of Iceland religion.
They were Catholic
For a long time.
for a long time. And now they're mostly Lutheran.
Yeah, and initially during that transition, people were kind of pissed about it.
So there's a lot of hikes on this trip that we will recommend you doing. This, however, is not one of them. So you see behind me, this right here is the road that you will have to walk down. Kind of eerie.
It's about 1:30 a.m.
How you doing?
Wednesday morning. I'm good. I'm cold. And I'm tired. Because we haven't slept.
How's the view?
It's good. We saw 2 puffins.
We did see some puffins. That was the rose petal.
That was the rose.
So it actually didn't get fully dark tonight.
Nope. It's 1:30 a.m. and there's still light out.
And it's supposed to rain here in about 3 hours, so we wanted to get this hike in before tomorrow, so we're gonna sleep during the day. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much fun you having right now?
Are you gonna put it in the video?
Yeah.
Like a 5.
What would you have said if I said no?
What?
What would you have said if I would have said no?
Oh, did you say you were gonna put that in the
Yeah.
video? Oh, an 8.
It's actually our 3-year anniversary this week, and this is our belated honeymoon. So I don't know if Lauren really pictured her honeymoon looking like this, but here we are on a lonesome road in Iceland in the middle of the night. Just a sign of many things to come.
There is an abandoned shack
Yeah, I don't love that.
over here. I don't know if you can see that in the background, but I'm pretty sure we are discovering the national secrets of Iceland right now.
I think Key West sounds pretty good right now. Put the Airstream on the beach. But instead, we gotta walk all the way down there to our van. It's currently 2 a.m. Lauren had her tea, I had my espresso shots. It's raining, we do not care, and we are ready to go to Diamond Beach. And that is actually our turnaround point. There's a couple hikes we're gonna do along the way. We've got one rough road between us and a very epic hike. We will be spending the night in Skaftafell and then heading back to Vik the following night and kind of catching a few things that we didn't have time for on the way up the coast. We are currently on the very bumpy road up to Hagandifoss. It's a very unmarked waterfall, which you've heard amazing things about.
There are a few hikes in life that make you work for it, and this was certainly one of them. Filled with a few sharp cliffs, some loose rocks, and some mud, this was a climb. But if you're willing and able, this hike is definitely worth it.
So apparently the Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon is the deepest lake in Iceland. 2 James Bond films were filmed here, and the opening of Batman Begins was filmed here, Interstellar, Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So this is a pretty iconic destination in Iceland. In the wintertime, this is a great spot to see the northern lights. You can do guided ice cave tours and boat tours, and there's lots of hikes in the area. There's also a majestic diamond beach right next to this, which has little chunks of ice that have broken off of the glacier, and now they are sitting on this black sands beach, and they look a lot like diamonds.
We stayed last night at a campsite in Skaftafell.
Skaftafell.
Really nice campsite. I have been thoroughly impressed here. All the campgrounds, you guys, these bathrooms are so clean and they smell really good and they're not like gross porta potties. They're very, very clean. And we paid last night, how much for a campsite?
3,600 kronas.
So like
25 bucks.
Yeah. We just got done walking to Svartafoss waterfall, and this is a really cool waterfall because there are columns of black rock behind the waterfall, and these columns are formed by how the lava cools, the cooling process. It causes them to split into 6-sided columns, so it looks really cool because these columns are coming down in this black lava rock and then the water is falling over it. So that was a great hike, and it's raining a little bit, so we're gonna grab some snacks, and by grab some snacks I mean Sam's going to eat 10 cookies and I will have 2, and then we're gonna hike to a glacier.
Currently in Skaftafell, which is a region of, and I'm going to read this because I don't remember it, it's a region of the Vatnajökull National Park. Vatnajökull National Park. That was so wrong. Not even close. This is apparently one of the largest national parks in Europe, and it covers about 14% of Iceland's actual landmass. Yep. No, it's partially on. You need to put it more on the left.
We spent at least 42 of the last 48 hours being soaked in some capacity with Icelandic water, but that's okay. That woman is soaked. We saw her, oh my gosh, we saw her coming down from the hike, and she is now coming back. As she was going up, we were coming down from the hike, and she looks like she just jumped in a swimming pool.
This is our entire Iceland itinerary. You know, Lauren and I are big planners, and we like to have elaborate lists. And this is it right here. I tore the bottom of it because I had to make room for the other list we didn't make. So many scenes from Game of Thrones were filmed in Iceland. The character of the mountain was also from Iceland. So earlier when I asked Lauren if she knew any famous people from Iceland, she could have said the mountain, but she didn't know that at the time, and she failed.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, currently Sam and I are sitting in a really cool cave on a black sand beach. Now, we're in Vik, and it should be known that there are about 3 black sand beaches in Vik, but there are dozens of black sand beaches in Iceland because the island essentially is all lava rock, which means that when it breaks down onto its beaches, it becomes this really cool black sand, which is awesome. Something that I think I've only been exposed to maybe once at a beach in Hawaii, which is also like same type of thing, lava
Nice.
rock broken down.
We are going to head back west and go to a little cute boutique hotel called Frost and Fire and just relax the last couple days of this trip. It's been an awesome trip. We've gotten plenty of sleep actually. I was expecting us to be running low on Z's with the 24 hours of sunshine we get here, but
Yeah, we've done pretty well on sleep. Last night I didn't sleep that well, not gonna lie. Sam was up checking the Nuggets score
yes.
at about 3, I remember looking at my watch, it was 3:18 a.m. and Sam was on his phone checking the Nuggets score. He is a big Denver Nuggets fan, and they are in the NBA Finals. So really just having to keep tabs on our Denver Nuggies while we are here in Iceland. And today's a big day because they have one more game to win in order to win the NBA Finals.
I'm getting a little warm.
What?
I'm getting a little warm.
And Sam's getting a little bit warm, so he's gonna take off a few layers here.
Anyway, so let's, in my defense, I was keeping you up because I was checking the score, but when you absolutely bleed it.
When you bleed it.
When you just bleed it.
When you bleed it all the way in Iceland.
You gotta sacrifice some sleep. Because right now, the Nuggets are one game away, right here. We're up at Mile High City. One game away from the NBA championship.
Yep.
And that is worth losing some Z's for, people.
Yep. And some body heat.
What are you doing right now?
I'm writing postcards to my family.
Let's see the other one.
This one says I love ice cream.
They're like cute little Vikings.
And this one, Skål. That means cheers in Icelandic. Currently, we are in a town that starts with an H that I'm not going to try to pronounce, at a hotel called Frost Empire. And it is awesome. And a few things about this town. It is one of the only towns in Iceland that is able to grow flowers and vegetables year-round because they have greenhouses on top of the geothermal soil, and so it allows them to continue to grow plants and veggies all year long, which is really cool.
That is pretty cool.
I know.
All right, so what are we doing today?
Today we are going to walk the Hot River Trail, which takes you up along the Hot River. And it actually looks like, according to this map here, it's about 3.5 kilometers. You can hike it all the way around, which makes it a little bit longer, but you can actually hike it up from the town, and there's a little hot spring area that you can actually get into the river if you want to. So we're gonna do that. We've got some gnats on the trail, and they're big guys. I don't think they bite. Sam says that he got bit by one. I haven't gotten bitten yet, but gnats typically like Sam a little bit more than me, so I trust him on this one.
Shower less.
Sam's means of avoiding the gnats is to sporadically just sprint about 10 meters, but then I can't keep up with you. So we'll see if we can get some footage of him sprinting.
So we are currently on what's called the Hot River here in Iceland, and it's appropriately named because it is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It kind of feels like a hot tub. Want to take a mud bath?
No. This is like, if you've seen Ice Age and then you see the people fall into those geothermal things and they die, this is literally what we're looking at right here.
We do have some pretty close footprints.
I know, look how close that is.
Gotta do it for the Instagram. That person did not come out.
Good job!
Yeah, it's cooked out there in the steam actually. It's pending just 24 hours in the steam if you want to.
Okay, we're eating bread currently that we got at the geothermal park here. And it was made using the geothermal activity, and this is rye bread. They gave us some butter. Here's our bread. Cheers.
Cheers.
Some butter.
Yeah, I'll take some butter.
Oh, it's kind of hard to.
I got the top piece.
You love this piece. They steam it almost. They put it in a little pot that goes below the ground into the water. And then the temperature from the water heats up the pot that they put the bread in. And yeah, it's almost like steaming. It's kind of like poaching, like a poached egg type situation.
And with that, we wrap up our trip and head back to the States. I learned 3 valuable lessons from this trip. Number 1, if my wife loses a bet, she will lick the floor. 2, some shots are meant to be sipped. And lastly, Iceland is a magical place of kind people living on a diverse landscape shaped by both fire and ice. That pretty much sums it up. So until next time, you guys, happy trails.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun, dun. No, you keep doing your part.
Okay, you ready? Dun, 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 dun.
What?